everybody wants to pay less taxes. Even me. But if you do it wrong, you can go to jail. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, you're supposed to subscribe already. And make sure you turn on your post notifications so that way you don't miss when I drop any of the new videos. You can also connect with me. I'm on Instagram at JARadcliffe or Twitter at JARadcliffe2030. By now, most persons, if not everybody, should have paid their taxes for March 15 for the monies that they have made last year in 2020. Even if you think you never make a whole heap of money last year. When it comes to taxes, there are ways to pay less taxes, but there's a legal and an illegal way. The legal way is called tax avoidance. And the book definition basically says that tax avoidance is the legitimate minimizing of taxes using provisions in the tax laws. In a nutshell, tax avoidance is basically using the law to pay less or no taxes. And even in Jamaica, there are a number of ways in which we can actually avoid paying taxes. One of the ways that the rich and ultra rich do this is to actually incorporate their companies in different countries. These countries are normally countries with very favorable tax rates, if any at all. Two of the more popular ones right now are St. Lucia and Barbados. We all know that even St. Lucia has a very favorable tax regime for international businesses. Although this is now changing because St. Lucia has made some changes to their tax laws where these international businesses might start paying some taxes in the future. But as with any new taxes, you can be sure some of these business owners soon find some ways to go around it legally. Now, I know that not everybody can go to St. Lucia or Barbados to incorporate a company or get somebody to do it on their behalf. So, as a small business owner in Jamaica, what can you do to legally avoid some taxes? So, before that, let me just explain my situation as somebody who is paid a monthly salary. At my present job, I pay income tax, NIS, NHT, education taxes. Now, as a sole trader, you also will need to pay these taxes. And next thing that I pay is also a pension. The only reason my pension might be different from your payroll is that my company is a part of a registered pension plan in Jamaica. So they're able to pull pensions from my pay every month and put it aside for me for when I get older. Right now, I pay 5% to pension, but I can go up to 15% if I choose to. Now, if I decide to raise my pension contribution, what this is going to do is effectively lower the amount of income taxes that I pay on a monthly basis. Now, as a sole trader, you also have this option. You can also start investing in a pension fund. Just find one that is registered to operate in Jamaica and start throwing your pension every month or every year, depending on how you want to do it. And trust me, these companies that offer pension services, they're not hard to find if you're really looking for it. I always look at my pension as my little savings account. I think of it as being there just in case the decisions that I make today don't work out in the future. And can you imagine, as a sole trader, putting aside 10% of your business every year for when you decide to retire and paying the government less taxes now? That's a lot of money that you will be putting aside. This can also work in some ways for the limited liability company. So for smaller limited liability companies, when you join these pension plans, depending on how they're structured, the company might need to contribute a portion of the pension for you. So imagine you as a business owner decide that you're going to have your company set up a pension plan. Now, when you are contributing your 5%, 10%, or 15%, however much you decide, what you could possibly do is to have the company pay over, let's say 5% for you as well. Now, all of this money is going to be deducted from payroll anyway. So it's just like taking out 5% of your salary every month out of your business and putting it over for when you retire, whenever that may be. So pretty much, it's free money. It's just that you can't use it. No. Now the last one, tax evasion. Don't know about you guys, but I personally like to watch movies. Not as much as I used to one time, but I still like movies. One of my favorite type of movie to watch is pretty much movies with gangsters and so on. Because one of my all-time favorite movie is actually the Godfather trilogy. From watching The Godfather, I actually started to watch more movies about the Italian mob. And it actually had me liking the movies that were based on the 50s and the different gangsters in these times. And one of the most notable gangsters in these times was Alphonse Capone. Al Capone. Everybody's supposed to know Al Capone. When Al Capone was in his prime and doing his crime, him can't go to jail. Because there was nobody willing to stand up to say, alright, me, I go to court to testify against Al Capone. So the law can't prove Al Capone and do nothing. And then him just free to run around and do what him do. Just like that. Because them can't pin nothing for him. But as a man making money, one of the things that Al Capone make sure say him do, he make sure say, oh, he might live a lavish life. And when he might live this lavish life, the government in essence will say, oh, Al Capone lives so rich and me not see my piece of pie over here. So the IRS sent Al Capone to prison for tax evasion. So if Al Capone can go to prison for tax evasion, Al Capone are well rich brother at them time, we think about to we if the government catch up with we. So in essence, tax evasion is the illegal, intentional, non-payment of taxes. There are a lot of ways that people can decide to evade taxes, but some of the easier way is that first, your report say you make less money than you actually made for a particular tax year, or you can decide to pretty much up your expenses. So you can say, I only paid $100 in expenses for 2020, when in truth and in fact, I only paid $80 in expenses. So you tack on a little $20 on it to pay less taxes on that money. Now, if you're caught trying to evade the taxes or commit tax fraud, a number of things can happen. As I said, first, you can go to jail like Al Capone, or there are different fines and penalties that you may need to pay. Sometimes you might actually do the whole of them one time. But regardless of what happened, it is going to be more painful than just paying your taxes in the first instance. I remember a couple of years ago, TJ was planning to take a particular company to court. Because even after TJ come for the money, this company decided that they would not pay. At the time I was a junior accountant. Now, as a junior accountant, one of the things that I had to do was to actually make payments to different suppliers. And I was like, imagine, look at the big payment we just make to this supplier. And them inner wranglings with tax office. I was like, wow. Because at the time, it was really and truly an eye-opener for me. While I may not be able to make the decision on which supplier to use or not use, can you imagine if someone with that authority heard the same news as me and decided that they do not want to do business with this company just because of their whole tax issues? No, they would have lost a client over something so, in essence, simple as taxes, because the taxes that they owed at the time was actually payroll taxes. So these are monies that you're already taking out of your employees' salary. But, as I believe, to each his own. Everybody do what they want. So if they decide to take the money out of the employees' pay and not paying it over to tax office, that's their problem, not mine. So thanks for watching, guys. And remember, there's a thin line between tax evasion and tax avoidance. Just make sure you see it on the legal side of things, alright? If you like the video, please hit that thumbs up. Subscribe if you're not subscribed, and turn on your post notification, alright? Now, normally I would say, anytime you invest in your money, talk with your financial advisor and we are going to rest. But considering taxes is an accountant's job, I have to kind of change it up a little bit. Now, while as I said, taxes is an accountant's job and I may be an accountant, just remember, I am not your accountant. So, when you need tax advice, get yourself an accountant who can look at your situation and tell you how to move forward. They may also be able to tell you some ways that you can legally avoid paying some taxes So that way you pay less money to the government every year. So until next week, guys. Bye bye.